Hey, you guys. So I know it's a pretty obvious fact that I am a huge sports fan. I know everything about players and sports teams and stuff. Yeah, no. But I will say, one thing that has always fascinated me is the money side of pro sports, you guys. I mean, it is wild what athletes can make. Serena Williams, career on-court earnings. Ready for this? $95 million, close to $95 million. Peyton Manning, University of Tennessee alum, had a 5-year contract with the NFL for $96 million. The biggest tournament prize last year in the PGA, that is golf, was $25 million. Okay, so that's just scratching the surface. So recently I saw a reel where a professional football player, Eric Armstead, broke down his NFL paycheck, and it really got me thinking. So today we're gonna look at that reel because I think that there's some really great takeaways. Eric, thanks for just opening up your life and your money to us. We find it fascinating. So before we dive into that, there is a game my family and I have been loving lately, and that is Tapple. So Tapple is a really fun game to play with your friends, with your family. It's a little competitive, but also it's really easy to learn. It's really fun. And again, it's one of these things you can kind of pick up pretty quick and an entire group can play. So it's a really fun game. There's a timer, so there's like this, you gotta think quick on your feet, which those always have like extra pressure on the game. So you're just like, oh my gosh, you're in it and you're so invested and you just wanna win. And then the competitive nature comes out and it is just so fun. So I want you to play Tapple with your friends, with your family, with your neighbors, with those that you love, because you can create great memories with playing games. So make sure to check out Tapple at Walmart. All right, so let's watch this reel from Eric and see what he has to say.
I want you guys to see how actual NFL game check works. Let's break it down. Quick disclaimer here. My salary is on Google, so you can look up how much I make. This is for motivational and educational purposes only. I'm not here to flex on anybody. I've been extremely blessed in my life, and I work hard, and I do make a substantial amount of money. But this isn't to flex on anybody. This is so people can understand and see how it works in the NFL. So whenever I get my game check, the first number I look at is this number right here. And it says amount. And I know that means that's what hit my account. When you want to make yourself a little sad, then you go back up to the top and look at what you're supposed to get at this number right here. The earnings section breaks down what you made essentially. So I have a P5 BW, which the code for that means paragraph 5, which means like your base salary, what you're supposed to make. Now last year, the team converted my salary into a signing bonus for cap relief. So majority of the money I made was in the form of signing bonus, as you can see right here with this pay code. That's what I got in the form of signing bonus, and this is what I got in the form of salary, which totals to here.
Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing is that his gross pay versus his net pay is very different. And we can thank taxes for that. So in this particular scenario, his gross of what he was going to get paid was $393,000, but what he actually got paid was $198,000. So a pretty big swing. And what's wild about the NFL and other sports is that whatever game they are playing in, that is the state in which they are taxed. So that means that they could be filing as much as 10 different tax returns, coughing up as much as 50% of their salary in taxes. Now, I know sometimes like we make jokes about New York and California being expensive and other states too, but there's a reality to tax policies and where you live. So he plays for the San Francisco 49ers. So every home game that he plays or any game in California, he's going to pay a higher state income tax, higher taxes in those states versus states like Tennessee where there's not an income tax. So there is legit reason why people feel like they want to move for just economic purposes out of certain states because of high taxes. I mean, that is a real thing. So again, if he came to Tennessee and played for the Titans, there is no state income tax, which means his bank account would show a little bit more. So the bottom line here is that you need to notice your income and understand, yes, it's going to take a hit with taxes. And for you all, it's going to take a hit with health insurance. If you are funding your 401k, I mean, different things come out of that income. And again, there's nothing we can do about that. It just is what it is. But I think understanding that and moving forward with it and knowing what is really going on is important. So Before I go over the next takeaway, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors, Christian Healthcare Ministries. If your healthcare costs are increasing while your available choices are decreasing, check out Christian Healthcare Ministries. Christian Healthcare Ministries is a biblically based health cost-sharing ministry, and it's an affordable alternative to health insurance. So check out more at chministries.org/budget. That's chministries.org/budget. So now something else that really got me thinking is the fluctuating income. So basically, NFL players get paid every week from the start of the season to the end. So they get 18 game paychecks per season. Now, they're also paid for the playoffs and championship games, but those aren't guaranteed and could really factor in what they make from a yearly standpoint. Now, there are a lot of other professions that don't follow an annual salary format either. So you can have these like mountaintops and these valleys. So real estate agents or wedding makeup artists, for instance, the different seasons will cause your income to be high and others very low. So you have to be very mindful of your finances and anticipate those lower months. And this is true with anyone, even on commission. So that way, when you are earning a higher income in some of those higher months, you know that you need to be saving and preparing for the lower months. And you also want to make sure that you have what's covered your four walls, which is food, shelter, utilities, and transportation. And then depending on how much excess you have month to month, you need to adjust your lifestyle. So the hard thing is that inconsistency of all of this is what gets some pro athletes into a lot of trouble, especially when you factor in how quickly some can get cut or even moved team by team. And so it's one of those high risk, high reward situations. So you just have to be really diligent no matter how comfortable you're feeling financially. Now, if you're not a pro athlete, which is probably a majority of you, but you do have an inconsistent income and you want to feel stable in life when it comes to your money, then I would also say you can even bring in a side hustle if those are low months for you. If you have an income and you're not working as much, maybe pick up some extra money on those low months, which I think could be great. Now, this is especially helpful if you're just starting out when it comes to like sales or real estate, if you don't have that momentum yet, just to feel a little bit of security. All right, you guys, I hope you find all of that so interesting. I think it's always fascinating to hear, what they make and even what they're taxed, right? I mean, it is so interesting. So make sure to send this video to one of your friends who loves a good sport and maybe some money too. And remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.